This is a HeadGum podcast.
This week on the program, could you imagine virtual reality ever looked this sexy? It's the Lawnmower Man. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Job.
Eric Lonska.
And we hate movies. Everyone, welcome to the program. Thank you for tuning in. As always, that's right, it's the Lawnmower Man from the grand year of 1992, directed by Brett Leonard. But before we get to that, you may have noticed if you were tooling around on WHMPodcast.com or maybe paying attention to images on your phone when you download this episode, we got a little bit of a new look in the past few weeks.
Yeah, we're excited. This summer we took some time off and really hunkered down. All four of us did this. Only us four. No, not at all. We all worked very hard, and we also were smart enough to task someone to really do the work, which is Philippe Sobrero, a good friend of the show who's done tons of art for us, all the art that you see on that website.
Way more talented than we'll ever be.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Even collectively.
Oh, yeah, no, if you combined all our powers like Captain Planet or like fucking Power Rangers or something, still nothing.
I want to see the art of that. What is it? What do these four guys look like mashed together?
That's what nightmares are made of, dude.
Someone's going to draw it, and I don't want to look at it. I'm going to block you if you send it to me.
Instant block.
But do not block Philippe Sobrero on Twitter. But also, he is actually doing a book with another friend of the show, Nathan Rabin, called The Weird Accordion to Al, which is available on pre-order on their Kickstarter. So if you just Google, I'll just hear
What are you doing? You about to read a long ass URL?
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
No.
Yeah, just Google Kickstarter Nathan Rabin Weird Al and pre-order that book, because pre-orders help them so much to get the number up and all that cool stuff. And it's a really cool book. We're really excited about it.
This book, I got to tell you, Nathan Rabin, this is a commitment to excellence. Essays on every fucking song in this Weird Al box set. That is the Squeeze box set, excuse me.
And you're excited because you're a Weird Al fan, obviously.
Why wouldn't you be?
And Philippe did all the illustrations in the book, we should mention also. So that's what that is. So yeah, Kickstarter.com or Google it. You can find all that stuff. Also go to Nathan Rabin's Happy Place, and I'm sure the link to the Kickstarter is there as well.
And also, if you go to WHMPodcast.com, you'll see our brand new look. It's really exciting. We have the episode page totally updated. We have the tour tab totally updated. Why? Because we have a bunch of cool stuff coming up.
That's right. Yeah, so we're going to be doing this West Coast tour, of course, in November. 11/6, we are stopping in San Francisco. That's Cobb's Comedy Club, talking about The Rock.
It's a We Love Movies episode. Please put your guns down.
Yeah.
You love guns.
Wait, what?
Bend over and I'll show you.
Whoa, meat sword.
And we're going to meet Sword You the next night in Portland, Oregon, I guess.
Yeah. We're not going to be nude on stage.
No, talking about Kindergarten Cop at the Aladdin Theater in Portland.
Oh, yeah.
Super awesome venue, super awesome city. Great movie to talk about, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely. This is going to be a big show. We want you to come out for this one. Seattle, make the drive. Vancouver, make the drive if you can. It's the only PDX show we're doing in 2019.
Portland, Maine, make the drive. Portland to
make
Portland.
that
See how that goes.
You got 40 hours to kill? Fine. Way more than 40, probably. Anywho, and then, what is it? The 10th of November, we are going to be down in Los Angeles, California. We're back returning to the Hollywood Improv. And we there are talking about what movie, Eric?
We are going to sweep the leg, which is The Karate Kid, and I couldn't be more excited.
Which I guess is worse than any crime you could do, and inside or outside any arena, is sweeping somebody's leg. Yeah. That's it.
That's as crooked as it gets.
That takes you straight to hell.
Yeah, in 1984, it was that and then selling nuclear secrets to the Soviets.
Yeah.
That was the order.
In that order. Yes. That exact order. So go to our brand new website, still at WHMPodcast.com. Click on that tour button. All that info will be there. Now, Oh my God, the Lawnmower Man.
You could put some gas in there a little bit, and then right?
Yeah, that's what a
You
lawnmower
That
pull-
is
pull
how
a-
you start some lawnmowers. Not all.
It might not surprise anyone, but
the pod mower.
I've never mowed a lawn. in my
Really?
life.
Really?
Not in my life. I couldn't connect it with this film because of it. I really was like, what is he doing? Why is he
Actually,
doing
that makes sense.
When I was a wayward youth, I mowed many lawn.
Me
My
as well.
father actually forbade my brother and I from mowing the lawn because we always did such a terrible job with
Oh,
it.
wow.
Secret update, Pop. I was intentionally doing it poorly.
That's been my strategy for everything. It's like, you know what? I'll just do it. Like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do it.
Was that a rider or a pusher for you?
Oh, it was a pusher.
Oh, okay.
If it was a rider, dude, I'd been out there doing a fantastic job.
the rider. If you are the lawnmower rider.
It's a ride-on mower. There's my mustache breeze.
Nick Cage's head turns into like a John Deere cap.
Oh, God, that's horrifying. This movie is a weird combination of two Stephen King properties.
Is it?
Yes, so I was reading about this. This was on the Tribune Trivia, of course. So there's The Lawnmower Man,
Uh-huh.
which is one story. And then some other motherfucking thing called, like, Computer God or something?
Cyber God.
God.
That's not a Stephen King
That's a
property.
screenplay.
Yeah, it's
Well, so what it is then? All right, so it's
Yeah.
not a combo then.
Yes.
But what it is Cyber God, which has nothing to do with The Lawnmower
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
Came together to make a thing that Stephen King hated.
well,
Yes.
because it's not his story. The
Right.
Lawnmower Man's story. Do you know what the Lawnmower Man's story
Is
is?
it just
yes.
about a mentally challenged guy
Oh,
mowing lawns?
no.
No, you fucking wish, dude.
Oh, no, what are we talking? Is it another kid orgy like it?
No, it is
No.
about a guy that comes to your house and you're like, hey, could you mow my lawn? It's like, yeah, sure. But he doesn't make you. You're not allowed to watch him when he does it.
Right.
But when this
Like
guy,
most, by the way, like most lawnmower men.
And the hero or the protagonist of the story is the abusive father from this movie.
yes,
No.
Yes.
Harold Peckett or whatever his name is, or whatever.
Austin O'Brien's father is the
Yeah.
hero of this story.
Well, because to make him relatable to the reader, he
Oh,
has
sure.
to start.
But so
beating
wait,
his
what were
children.
you saying? Hang
So
on.
when he goes, when you look at this guy
This
who's
is
mowing
good.
your lawn, it's magic. The lawnmower's doing the work itself. It's cutting all the grass. But this guy who's described to be a heavy gentleman with a hairy back is naked in your yard eating the grass.
Because he worships the god Pan,
Yes.
and if you see him do it, he will sacrifice you to the god.
And that's the story. He just kills this dude for looking at him.
You know what? Better movie.
Yes.
It's like a suburban midsummer,
And they
a little bit.
and they basically Stephen King sold the story to New Line. He's like, yeah, sure, if you want it, you got it, pal. And then they didn't make the movie, but they just were like, that's a better title for our cyber war. It's a
Right.
good title. It's a good title.
It's a
Lawnmower
better,
Man,
better
Lord-
title than Cyber God, which, side note, is what I was known as in the 90s.
No, it
dear
was
God.
A
not.
little bit.
Was that your username?
A little mail bombing.
Oh,
You've been
Oh, I thought you were like the cyber god because like you could get people off the quickest when cybering.
Oh, yeah, well, that too.
All he would do is write 2 words which were inside you, and you would come.
Yeah. Like right after ASL, you're shooting. Like
But you
that's how
can't look
fast
at
it
you
goes.
while you're doing it.
AS, you know, yeah,
That's the whole
AS,
point of cyber.
AS
Don't look at me.
ASL 19M inside you, and then you'd orgasm.
See, the thing
Oh,
is,
no, the L, that was
Very
crucial.
hot.
now we have cameras, the webcams and
Yeah,
whatnot.
sure.
Ruins the mystique.
Yeah, totally.
You know, a 19/M sounded way better than it looked. I'll tell you that much.
Text-based masturbation is really underrated, I think.
Thank you.
This is a legit question I had the other day because I was watching something.
Was it Lawnmower Man?
Well, maybe. Is he? Yeah, actually, it might have been because he's watching like that sex line.
Oh,
commercial.
yes, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
totally.
Okay. Are we still calling those? Like, and if so, what kind of person is calling sex lines in
Very,
2019?
very people.
Yes. Definitely.
People
Analog.
who don't know the internet, they're just like, oh, I saw that at 2 a.m.
I'll gum it and then you gum it.
Oh, good God.
Let's
Hey.
rub gums together.
That's horrifying, and it reminds me of something. And I promise we'll talk about this movie in a second. I saw a headline the other day. A local news station in Connecticut had this story. They arrested a group of people in the woods in Connecticut, all 60 or older, including it was a bunch of dudes and then one 86-year-old woman.
Oh, I know this. It's called the gumball.
Good God.
It was a thing where the cops or whatever authorities discovered online this thing that people were advertising meeting up for sex at this place in the woods.
Oh.
And when they went for the bust, it was all these old dudes and then this even older lady.
Nice,
Kind of suburban midsummer.
I think it's a thing where they cocked up like an old witch's fucking sacrifice or something. It was the craziest story. Now, anyway,
Did you bring the Eye of Newt? Oh, fuck. I forgot it at home. Did anybody have matches at least?
Whoop. Oh, now we're busted.
Uh-oh, it's the popo. Put it down, put it down, put it down.
Look,
Put that Eye of Newt down.
I don't have a cauldron. I have a really big pot, though.
So, but the best part about the whole story about the Stephen King is he sued them because they would not stop putting his name on this. Because this was released as Stephen King's Lawnmower Man. And he's like, that's a problem.
That's what happened when it came out theatrically?
Yes, it was Stephen King's Lawnmower Man.
Even the video was Stephen King's, the VHS, and apparently they sued over that.
They broke a court order. They went to court, and he won. They took it off the movie, and then they're like, yeah, but the VHS, Stephen King's Lawnmower Man. It's like, God damn it.
The joke, the ghost of Jack Warner was like, yeah, but he didn't say nothing about the tapes.
Now, Mr. King, let the record show that you write spooky and scary stories. Now, are you trying to say that this story is neither spooky nor scary, even though it's about virtual reality? That could be scary, Mr. King. Can it or can it not be?
Look, there's no fat man eating grass in it. It's not my art. That's my art you're talking about.
I love that idea, though, that he's like, that's one of my trash can stories. Go ahead, Warner Brothers.
Well, did you hear the final thing? What he went to court again after that.
Yeah.
And they had to pay $10,000 a day until the Stephen King videotapes were off the shelves.
That's awesome.
Now, Mr. King, you have wasted enough of the court's time with your story about a fat man that eats leaves. Thank you and good day, sir.
He should have also been sued for not calling that story Goat Man.
So the real movie Lawnmower Man
Right.
is the movie we're talking about.
Right.
Jeff Fahey and in exile Pierce Brosnan. This
exile.
happens. Well, this happens sometimes. It happened to most famous. Look, if you're really close to getting the role for James Bond and then you don't get it, your career goes like monkey paw horrible.
Right.
Look at Clive Owen. Look at that guy.
Yeah.
It's like being next to somebody who travels in time. It'll burn your face off.
Because Pierce Brosnan was going to be instead of Dalton.
Yes.
But he couldn't get out of Remington Steele.
Yes, and this is like his.
Right.
This is like the nadir of his career.
But
and then
he would be the man that becomes Bond. As we saw in our premium episode this month, GoldenEye.
That's right.
On the Patreon feed.
I don't know. Exile's looking good on it. I don't know.
He looks awesome.
This
I
is
wanted to
amazing.
lick that earring off.
oh, what?
Dude, it is.
Co-signed.
Yep.
Cosine.
It is such a spectacular fucking 90s earring.
I'm against this earring.
What?
It is such a scumbag earring.
But that's the thing is like back in the 90s when we made these movies, like tech entrepreneurs were always sex scumbags.
Yep.
Not
True.
like the gods we make them out to be today.
Well, it wasn't like, your fucking average to sub looking nerds like Bill Gates. Right. Or Tim Apple. Right.
Tim Apple.
No, that's what it is. He's like a genius.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is the package deal. It's kind of a mullet. It's an earring. It's my fucking shirt is either open or off through most of this movie.
I say I love the fashion in this movie. The 90s were great because it's just enormous polo shirts and adults wearing Oshkosh bagosh.
It's fair.
I think Jeff Fahey is dressed in Oshkosh bagosh because he's supposed to be challenged
Right.
and look like a little
But
kid.
still, it's a sharp look.
And then on top of all that, the earring, the wardrobe, he is soaking wet this whole movie.
Yeah.
He's wet a lot
dude.
of this movie. Chain smoking.
He is smoking in bed.
Right.
That is something.
That's the number one asking for it. You are asking to die.
And like his wife has to wake up and be like, dude. And he's like, whatever. I'm Pierce Brosnan. Figure it out.
What? I stopped doing it on the plane.
So this movie opens up bafflingly. Like it's this chimpanzee being tortured.
Sure. We also get really quickly this, like, it's not a scroll, it's just a little text at the
love
top
it.
that's
Forgot
a
about this.
warning about the dangers of VR.
Do you have it, Eric?
Oh,
or
I do.
got it?
Well, if you got it, but I took a picture of the screen.
Yeah, you
because
guys
I
are
was like,
screenshotting this VR warning. Huh?
screenshoters.
Who's got it? Who's
All
gonna
right,
get it
by
first?
the turn of the millennium, a technology known as virtual reality, all caps, will be in widespread use.
And by that,
Ooh.
they mean in 7 malls.
It will allow you to enter the computer-generated artificial worlds as unlimited as imagination itself. Its creators foresee millions of possible positive uses, while others fear a new form of mind control.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hold on. This does not seem like there's going to be a pig man. Hold on. I'm just imagining Stephen King, like, he's got his popcorn. He's like, wait a second. Virtual what?
Hey, wait a second. They're not talking about grass.
Jeff Fahey doesn't have any hair underneath his head. Jesus. I need more hair on that man.
Mind control, dude. This is
Yeah.
Matrix shit, dude. This is William
Right.
Gibson stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
dude. The godfather of cyberpunk himself.
So we go to this laboratory, which I believe, am I wrong here? This building was also used as the exterior for the Power Rangers hangout.
Oh, maybe.
I'm pretty sure that when they had to go to meet Zordon back
Yeah.
at Zordon's pad,
Well, it looks
that
like
was that
Pierce
building.
It looks like
Brosnan.
complete shit, so I would imagine that's probably true.
Rangers, I bought this cheaply off of the CIA Rangers.
Or maybe it's concurrent usage. Like Pierce
they're
Brosnan
roommates.
is like riding the elevator with the Green Ranger or whatever.
Hello, Tommy. What's your day looking like? Yeah, I know his name.
Oh, that Rita Repulsa at it again.
That
You
sounds
know,
like,
I was in the restroom and Alpha 5 looked at my penis.
that sounds like something that scumbag Dean Norris would do.
Oh, that's for
to
sure.
split the rent.
Dean Norris is kind of looking like Zordon in this movie. I'll tell you what. We'll get to
It's
that
true.
in a
He's,
second.
he's basically only projected on screens.
Which is very dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like Steve said, there's this chimp. He's playing VR games, killing aliens and whatnot.
Right. And apparently it's a government contract to like enhance the brain of the chimp and also
Sure.
make him better at military
I
function.
guess it's like we're doing
because-
chimp soldiers. That's
Ma-
what. That's
I
the
guess.
move.
That's the idea.
Or are we
Jesus, chimp soldiers, dude. They can shoot and bite.
Well, the big thing is so that they put the chimp into this virtual reality machine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing says essentially like toxic detonation is what like he's supposed to be living through. It's a chimp. The chimp is gonna die in the fucking toxic. Like if
Yes,
a nuclear bomb goes off, the chimps are dying too.
But that's
Right.
we don't care because they're chimps. That's,
Right.
I think that's part of the idea.
But they
Well,
can't fight. The
but
whole point is that
listen,
they're supposed to be
as-
fighting.
But their mind power is so great that they can keep running and shooting their guns while their hair falls out and their teeth come out.
Yeah, you just got a bunch of chimp skeletons running at these machines.
Oh shit, dude.
I like
Fucking
it.
chimp and the Argonauts.
They should just do another Terminator movie where Skull Beach is full of chimps
Yeah.
versus robots and then be like, yeah, the timeline got really fucked up. Now it's all chimps.
Rangers, I'm moving to a different location. It smells like monkey shit over here all of the time.
Aye, there's feces in my eyes.
Alpha 5, it'll be fine. We're moving to the valley. I've got a nice studio apartment, Rangers. Not everyone will be able to sit down.
As these credits go by through this sequence, by the way, I was pretty shocked. And it's just because, like, I get it. It's 1992. He wasn't James Bond yet. He was only Remington Steele. But I don't know what the fuck Jeff Fahey's history was. They are neck and neck credited on their names are on the screen together.
Because it's a thing. I mean, like, Fahey, this is Fahey's alley. You know why? Because this movie is erotically charged. If you've got an erotically charged movie that was released from 1990 to 1996, Fahey gets the hammer.
I'm not even sure if it has to be erotic before he's cast.
Yes, exactly.
Like in that Body Parts movie we did ages ago.
Yeah.
Like that's not really a hot movie.
No.
But then he starts fingering his
Disagree.
wife on screen, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is an erotic thriller.
Because you can't have it's an erotic something when Jeff Fahey shows up.
Right. Like when he's playing with those dogs in Alita.
It becomes an erotic cyberpunk thriller out of nowhere.
It absolutely did. I wanted more from Jeff Fahey in that movie, though, man. Not enough.
Still haven't finished it. I'm still mad.
Right, because your mall burnt down during it or something.
One of the 2 times that I was trying to watch a movie and I was evacuated due to fire or hurricane, and it happened right when Jeff Fahey and his cyber dogs were introduced. And I'm like, fuck.
The funny thing is, you've seen most of him in this movie.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
That's the thing.
Yeah. I have a group chat with the cyber dogs, and it gets steamy. I'm going to tell you, it gets hot in there.
So the monkey dies, right? Well, actually, this one...
Well, the monkey murders men.
rampage.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because... And what you call it... Pierce Brosnan's having a nightmare about it. Like, we're seeing it through his nightmare. So the monkey steals a key card. Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just breaks out. He does murder this dude. Now, here's the thing.
Shoots him in the head.
It's fucking great,
It's
actually.
great.
Just blows this dude's brains out.
Right,
Not
Monkey's
too
playing
bad.
too much Doom.
Yeah, well, they show it from the chimp's like POV in like his VR headset. So you see the guy. You don't see blood fly out of his head. You just see like he's definitely been shot in the head because
Right.
the silhouette of his head now has another silhouette flying out of it.
I will say that's the problem with this movie. Zero gore for some reason. In a movie that's got like theoretical blood and guts everywhere, we always cut away. We don't. And I think it's because of cheapness, like the squibs didn't show up or something.
Or
but like,
is it scarier to have your atoms move around
Yeah.
or whatever the
No,
fuck
it's not.
this is?
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Well, you got to take a little journey back to 1992.
Oh, you think blood is scary? How about if you turned into marbles?
You know what? That does sound scarier.
Now, I have to point out, I'm pretty sure I watched the director's cut of this movie.
Okay.
How long was it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
That's the problem I'm running into.
Mr.
but
King, how long was the cut that you watched exactly?
I don't know. I was so furious at the time.
Well, how could you know if your story was properly integrated and if it was or was not scary, Mr. King?
And in your story, how long do they cut these blades of grass?
Look, it's about a fat man who eats grass. It should be an hour long tops.
How many bags of grass would you
God.
say he ingests per day?
I plead the fifth.
And so this is while the monkey's like doing all that, this is like what's cross-cutting with like Pierce Brosnan smoking in bed. He's like watching that. This is a weird thing that goes on throughout this movie. Anytime there's a television on, except for one moment where the abusive dad who lives next door turns on WrestleMania.
Sure.
Every other time you see a television in this movie, it's playing like endless war footage.
Oh, okay.
Like that's like Pierce Brosnan has the TV on at one point. It's endless war footage. It's on
Aggression
later.
will not stand.
Yeah, I mean that's it's what it
It's
looks
setting
like.
it really. I mean, it's
Yeah.
this is set in the same year as The Big Lebowski.
Right. So yeah, like that all happens. Then we're introduced to Jeff Fahey. He is a simple man who's living in a shed behind a church, and he's in this case, the titular Lawnmower Man.
Right. Did you guys remember? Now, Ben Stiller played Simple Jack. What
Yes.
was that in Tropic Thunder, maybe?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that is 100% Fahey.
Yeah, but even-
more than like Forrest Gump or whatever.
Yeah, no, because it's the same
Yeah.
outfit. Also, he's looking a lot like Drop Dead Fred right now.
Yes, he is that hair.
And B, he's looking like Harry from Dumb and Dumber, fucking Jeff Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels, yeah.
Isn't
Wow,
this,
you're
this
right.
is first, though. I
This is the
believe.
first of all of those films.
Yeah, it's
because
all
Dumb and Dumber
derivative.
was like 94.
It's derivative. You needed Lawnmower Man to be there.
I mean, I'd be fine if Tropic Thunder just didn't exist altogether.
No, I would be too.
be
but-
okay.
think
Except that
but-
Tom Cruise character. That was funny.
I think it's mostly funny. I like that movie.
Yeah, you're right.
I never went back.
Blackface and
wait.
the mentally challenged. Yeah, it's a real fucking laugh
It's
riot.
a hoot.
I will say stop everything.
Okay.
Drop Dead Fred came out in 1991. It's fine. It's all fine, guys.
Shit.
It's all fine.
Shit.
That's
Yeah.
where I think
Was
they
that
got it.
Stephen King's Drop Dead Fred?
Well, no, that's a story about. Oh gosh, darn it!
Now, so this
Now,
is
Mr. King, you cannot come into this courtroom every time a movie is released, can you?
all right. So we're at a scene that I have to ask you guys if you saw because I've never seen this movie before. So the only time I watched it was this time.
A ditto as well, but I definitely watched the theatrical cut. That much I'm sure of.
Did you guys have a scene in what you, Chris and Eric, have seen before, or
Yes.
Steve watched for the first time, a whole huge standoff scene with the monkey?
No.
So I did watch the director's cut, and holy fucking shit.
I read the list of differences between the original and the director's, and it just seems to be monkey-based. Like, the monkey keeps coming back, it seems.
Well, so the monkey, so this is the
Our
thing.
monkey was barely in it.
Exactly. It was like a cameo appearance. He was like Drew Barrymore in Scream, basically.
Yes, you're right. It was exactly
The monkey
like
was
it.
just as famous.
There's no monkey in my story. Why would you do this to my beautiful story?
So this is insane because this is how the director's cut also introduces you to Jeff Fahey.
Uh-huh.
So Fahey like wakes up one morning and like goes outside, and the monkey has survived the escape.
What?
And he's run. It's insane that this much is left out of this movie. So he winds up at Jeff Fahey's shed, and he's still got all the VR stuff on, and he's holding a firearm.
The monkey?
The monkey still has the firearm. And so Jeff Fahey sees the monkey, and it resembles a comic book character that he's familiar with.
Gorilla Grodd?
You want the monkey to fuck Fahey?
He's
He's
calling
an
it.
erotic guy. He might do it.
There's some L. Ron Hubbard shit going around here, though, because I'm pretty sure he's calling him Man.
Okay.
Is the name of this superhero that he reads in the comic books. So Jeff Fahey goes outside and he's like, oh, hey, Man, what's going on? Oh, and like the monkey's been shot, right? So he's like, oh, I need a fucking doctor. Sing the fucking words. Monkey won't die.
It would be great if, in all those movies, you always take a guy in the mafia to like a vet to clean him up. But you actually take the monkey to a real doctor. That's the way. It has to go the other way.
That Jeff Fahey is like, give me your shirt. I don't care if it was your daughter gave you a shirt. Give me your shirt.
The monkey's like, I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
The monkey takes the cigar out of the dude's mouth and burns his own chest with it.
Such a better movie. Monkey Terminator. We've
Right.
only had human
Dude,
Terminators.
and then
Monkey
get
Terminator.
this, the monkey Terminator pulls up his monkey paw, cuts it off, and shows monkey bones under it.
Exactly. It's like the T-25. You know what I mean? Like the T-1000. But it's a T-20. It's a monkey. It's a monkey Terminator.
It's just a monkey we sent back in time.
Yeah, I'm very excited to promote the Terminator 25. In this one, I am sided with a monkey cyborg.
We are not going to get along, let me tell you.
Terminator 6, a chimp's day.
It will be you who slip on banana.
Oh no, the monkey Terminator goes back to to caveman times
And educates them all.
No, it wants to kill the line that the monkey that sires John way in the back.
Sure.
We're still trying to kill John Connor eventually.
Right.
So when his family were monkeys,
Right. That's when you get them.
that's when you get him.
You try to find the bacteria he's based from. I can't
Honestly,
find him.
Why didn't they do more of that in those movies? They keep going back to the 20th century. Like, give me Terminator in the fucking French Revolution or whatever.
Oh my God, totally, dude. Viva la Terminator.
They try to fuck a guillotine. The guillotine breaks and Arnold just gets up.
It just hits his neck and it's like, clink. Nice try.
I apologize. You were talking about the monkey.
So the monkey, right? So he's like, "Oh, you're injured, Man. We got to get you some help." And this is why you probably thought I was fucking crazy because I was telling you how like I cannot watch monkey stuff, right? Yeah, it gets me, right?
In general, or
just like if a monkey's in peril, or like
so you don't go, you don't have like a panic attack when you watch Dunstan Checks In, do you?
No, if the monkey, or like the ape or whatever it is,
being tortured
is
or
tortured
something.
or hurt.
Okay,
You go bananas.
I very much do.
Don't watch the movie Project X with Matthew Broderick.
Too late.
I think
what
that's
is that?
probably where this comes from because that movie is about monkey torture.
Yeah.
Project
To borrow from the state.
I didn't see it.
It's how it was actually released in Japan. Was monkey torture? That was the name of the movie.
It's
Matthew Broderick in Monkey Torture.
It's just him on the poster, like, well,
It's him and Helen Hunt, and they're doing monkey science experiments, and these monkeys are getting tortured.
they're getting tortured,
I
man.
know I'm watching tonight.
It's it's also tough for me and dogs, but like monkeys, I don't know what.
Yeah.
But you're probably right. It probably was Project X. But anyway, so just as Jeff Fahey is trying to like register all of this and stuff, the team from the lab descends on the fucking shack, and the monkey starts freaking out. So Pierce Brosnan rolls up, and then all the other dudes are there, and they all have like these fucking guns trained on the shack. And he's like, all right, I'm coming out with Cyclo Man. Don't worry about it. And then he comes out, and Jeff Fahey's holding this monkey. And then like the monkey sees all the rifles and shit and freaks out. And he like jumps up on the roof of the shed, and he gets to a tree.
Wow.
And this one dude freaks out and just starts firing at this monkey. And dude, you see this monkey puppet get lit
Nice.
up.
What? All
He
right.
shoots this monkey in the back, and it's like, and this monkey's back is exploding.
Monkey platoon.
Like James Caan in The Godfather.
He falls to his knees like, ah!
He puts his hands up like Willem Dafoe.
And so he just like, and it's dead. And then, so this whole standoff, and then Pierce Brosnan's trying to like settle the whole thing before the dude fires and everything. So he's fucking pissed off. He's then cradling this dead monkey. And this is where I will admit to you and the world right now, in fucking Lawnmower Man director's cut, I started crying.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh,
I
man.
was so ashamed of myself, but what are you going to do? There's a fucking monkey corpse. You see this thing get lit up.
It's
Okay,
time for monkey pizza. That's all that means.
Okay, but I need the nuances here. Did you also cry in Hollow Man?
No, because that was all like CGI, so it looked fake as fuck from the jump.
Okay.
What
You're
about
using
those-
a real monkey.
That
actor
was
in
an
this.
ape, and this was a chimp.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
you
like,
like
I
chimp.
don't know
But
if there's
like,
much
well, no,
change.
gorillas and shit.
Yeah.
That'll also do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like what was that movie? I'm not gonna
Congo.
Mighty Joe Young?
Yeah, I got a little sad in that one. There's another one with there's like a kid.
Oh, I
who's
think I know what you're
friends with
talking
an
about.
ape.
Like here and there or something. It's like
No,
something
I know what it is. It's King Kong.
Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of sad. Man.
But
Anyway, yeah.
in the original, in the theatrical cut, it's like you just cut and like Pierce Brosnan, like the monkey is assumed dead in the theatrical cut. I just assumed the monkey got killed.
Yeah.
Right.
And like
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan's like, that was the best chimp we ever had.
Yeah.
That was my favorite line of the movie.
And how do you...
And I've had them all over the world.
And the business guy he's with, Tim's,
Oh,
like,
God.
how do you hear that and not burst out laughing?
Yeah.
The best chip. We buy these things for $20 a pop.
I don't understand. So Dean Norris, so it's VSI, Virtual Science Institute, Virtual Space Institute, I think
Space Institute, yes.
which is an LOL for me, is
Sure.
the thing, and it's fronted by the shop, which is obviously like the CIA or whatever.
Sure.
And like, I just like there's this. We were talking about Dean Norris is in this movie doing a terrible job.
Ugh.
This
playing
accent.
like this snooty whatever.
Ugh.
But
Yeah,
like
he's like a bureaucrat,
Yes.
some like head up in like between the government and this company or whatever.
You know what it reminded me of? And I promise someday I will stop referencing this show. But remember in Clone High when the principal had like the dude he was always
Oh, yeah,
reporting
yeah.
to, and he was mostly on a screen? It's kind of that. And he's speaking very flatly, just like that cartoon character did. Maybe again, the influence of the Lawnmower Man just runs
I
deep
think it's
through
true.
Hollywood.
I think everything would be different today
I
if
would
this
def-
movie didn't come out.
I would definitely take that from the Lawnmower Man, not the Lawnmowering Man.
or the VR nonsense. So I mean, like, whatever. But yeah, it just like it's this thread that goes throughout where, and he kind of quits, basically, or he's like, "I'm gonna go on hiatus. You just killed my chimp, my
Right.
beloved chimp."
Pierce Brosnan is doing he several times throughout this movie he records himself like in like an audio diary, and I don't know if this is a director's cut fallout scene or what, but he's talking about like what went down, and he's like, well, this is the lowest point in my life. And his shirt is wide open. He's chain smoking in his basement.
Oh. Talk about him more. Just keep doing it.
And well, this is so like because in the theatrical cut, you don't even meet Fahey until about 15 minutes in, or
Well,
later.
Because the chimp murder scene is kind of amazing. They got some 10-year-old to put a bike helmet on, and they like put the fucking camera right behind him, and then like all of a sudden some guy shoots, and it just falls out of frame.
Oh, that's what
That's
happened?
the whole thing.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I think what I saw was like a shot goes off and see the chimp like "Rah!" or something, and it's like shadow play.
And he's like supposed to go, like he's on hiatus from work, which I would love to be on hiatus. Just put me on hiatus.
Right.
He's on hiatus from work. He's in, like, but he's doing VR at home on the weekend.
Dude.
And his wife is like, we're supposed to go in the city today. And he's like, just a minute. I'm in my little chair here.
Dude, it is a sex swing.
It is. It's a sex swing.
Well, he's doing like the different experiments in VR. He's like, I want to feel like I'm fucking falling, man.
Yeah.
Woo! All right. Let's try flying. All right. Those are like the two things you can do in this thing. And then he's so pissed off when she turns it off.
And she's like, we're supposed to go to the city. What's going on? You're addicted to VR. And he's like, well, it's my
What's
career.
next? Fucking it?
Yes, that's right.
And
also,
of course,
come on.
Yes, that's of course. Yes, exactly. That's what everything is for.
That's Endgame. That's always been Endgame.
he's like, if you didn't come down here and bother me, I'd be jerking off right now.
Don't you all remember that virtual reality went away pretty quickly, and what brought it back was porn?
Yep.
Virtual reality porn was the reason that Oculus is popular.
Is that what you're doing?
That's what a lot of people are doing.
That's
Not
what
me.
I heard a lot of people are doing.
I can't afford no fucking Oculus.
Now, Mr. Gavin, it says here on page 91 that you know when virtual reality came back. But why do you know that information, Mr. Gavin?
Because I watch porn, sir.
By the way, though,
Overruled.
Cabin, Google Cardboard's like $40.
Oh, really?
It's super cheap, dude. You don't need an Oculus.
I think
for
those
that.
And you
things
can
are
in there
stupid.
you can
They are
get-
stupid, yeah.
But you can get a monkey to fuck you.
And the
Finally.
cardboard. I bet you the cardboard ones get soggy.
The line that the line that Pierce Brosnan has to the wife, by the way, is never unplug a program when I'm engaged.
Yeah, and then-
oh yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, I'm leaving you. Which
Here's
is,
yeah. Sorry, but
and leaving the movie. Very, very,
Oh,
very
quickly.
Bye. No, she's gone for good.
Yeah, she's
or
gone.
at least in this, in the theatrical
Oh.
cut.
no way.
Yeah,
the
this
wife is gone.
This is their last scene. She's just like, I'm leaving. Goodbye now.
oh,
There's
oh,
like a-
you guys.
What?
Oh,
Did
you
she get killed?
guys.
Did the monkey fuck her?
She's dating the monkey in a separate scene.
I mean, stay tuned because I have it in my notes when the wife comes
Okay.
back.
Because there is, I think it's like 35-minute difference between the theatrical
for
and
sure.
the director's cut. You have to fill up a lot of time.
Jesus Christ, though, I guess I was having a good time with this movie. I did not notice it was that long.
This movie's also terrible to women because the
Yes.
wife is like the nagging wife
Yes.
trope, and then there's a
neighbor
horny,
lady?
horny neighbor. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that.
That's all there is.
That
really.
neighbor. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, then there's the
The
one-
next door
Yeah,
neighbor.
the abused mother is like a nothing character. She has
Nothing
2
character.
lines.
She might also
maybe.
be horny though. You never know.
she is at the end. They
Oh,
Very,
that's
very
right.
end, yeah.
Oh, super horny.
So she leaves him, and he's like, "Well, now I have all my time to do all my experiments. I want to use a human subject." Hello, Lawnmower Man. This is when we're introduced to Fahey in the movie, in the theatrical cut, and you introduced it with him with and Geoffrey Lewis,
Yes.
who's doing
Love that guy.
previous episode Double Impact.
right
the
and
best.
previous episode Every Which Way But Loose.
But Loose, we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That another monkey movie.
And he's probably been in the background of 100 other ones we've done. The guy's was around for a long time.
You're right though, Eric. This dude is in at least 3, because he's in both of those.
right.
Yeah.
That's
He's
why
in
they
at
got
least 3
him.
monkey movies.
He's got monkey experience. He's
Guy's
not
got
going to
monkey
freak
feet.
out on set.
Oh, he's a seasoned pro.
By the way, does anybody know what director Brett Leonard, what other movie he's done that we've done before?
Fucking Virtuosity.
Indeed.
Oh wow, this
So
guy,
that dude loves VR.
Cyber thrillers.
That is awesome. I miss these, honestly. I miss these
Yes.
junky thrillers that are like, the computer's out to get us.
So
I
wait a
miss it.
second, though. This is going to happen a lot through this episode now, apparently. So do you guys, what you watch, do you have the priest character?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he gets introduced too.
And it's established that he and Geoffrey Lewis are brothers?
Yes. No,
Yes.
it is. It
It
is.
is.
Okay, yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
You,
Yeah.
you were drinking.
Oh, that's fine.
Because the priest back at that shack, he's like, you brought these people to our sacred grounds. You know, you sinned or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And he's whipping them.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, you guys had the
Yeah.
whipping? Okay.
But in the theatrical version, the reason is much stupider. It's because there's ants in the fucking
Oh, right.
church.
That's also
Right.
there. And he's like, I thought I told that simpleton to blah, blah, blah. But then the standoff happens.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that's funny that that's how they used that justification. That's
Now,
weird.
hold on. The theatrical cut is 9 minutes long, and then you wake up in your bathtub. Am I wrong? Did I watch the wrong movie here?
I'm feeling sick. So Fahey is with Geoffrey Lewis. They're at a gas station.
Yes.
Then you get this character, Jake.
I love this guy.
This fucking scumbag.
Just a lifelong bully. A bully that wouldn't hang it up, which I do appreciate to a certain extent. You know what, man?
Oh, really?
You peaked in high school, just ride it out.
No, I mean, at least he's comfortable with it. Although, yeah, you are picking on like mentally challenged people here. This is like a real problem.
Jake, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. You shouldn't be smoking. And he's like, yeah, I'm smoking. Fuck you.
And then he spits the cigarette at Jeff Fahey, who's at the gas pump.
That's right. Yeah, it is dangerous. It's not just like it's not like lung cancer. We're talking about a fucking gas station here, Jake.
And then Geoffrey Lewis is like, oh, sorry about that, Jake. You know, he's a little simple. Because he thinks that might do something.
Yeah, whatever. I want us all to fucking die.
Also, it's Jake's gas station. He works there.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do?
Just to add to the sexism, the name of the fucking gas station is Gas Her Up.
Oh, really? Okay.
Is that sexist?
I think a little bit. All the cars are women.
Yes, that's all vehicles are
yeah,
women, right?
Things,
Isn't that,
something you own. I don't know.
This is the male gaze being gazed upon inanimate objects, right? Because ships are women, right? Cars are women.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we learned from Gone in 60 Seconds, anyway.
Full Metal Jacket, fucking guns are women.
Most spaceships.
What isn't women?
The Millennium, your precious Millennium Falcon, also come on, baby, hold together.
Right,
Like, that's a lady.
And I believe Shatner at least is talking about the Enterprise. Like, can't.
Well,
take
those are just space boats.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Boats in space. We go on the day-to-day of Jeff Fahey. We see him get beat by the priest. We see him hang out with this little kid named Peter, who's Austin, what's-his-face from O'Brien from Last Action Hero and My Girl 2.
Absolutely.
The Macaulay replacement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, pre-Jurassic Park, dinosaur hysteria. Pre-hysteria,
right.
which is, I don't know if you've ever seen this movie. It's
Yeah.
about a bunch of dinosaurs that are put into an institution because they're too horny.
I mean, I've seen the poster before, but I had no idea that's what that was.
I was making because it's hysteria.
Oh, come on! Oh, man!
It's pre-hysteria. It's a stupid title.
Oh, now I get it. Hey, also though, aren't they like tiny dinosaurs in that movie?
Yes,
because
that's
he's
the
like
whole thing.
hanging out with them.
Oh, weird.
I think
Yeah,
they're
they're
like claymation.
They're
maybe?
play size. Oh, they're claymation too. On
think.
top of it all.
By the way, was Austin O'Brien?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the only returning cast member for Lawnmower Man 2.
No way.
yes.
That's how they
Yes.
link it.
Not even Fahey?
Not Fahey, Matt Brewer.
Matt Frewer.
Matt Frewer, sorry.
so he
Yeah,
takes over for
recast
Fahey.
him.
Oh, I thought it was going to be corrected to Jim Brewer.
And Matt Frewer actually has the cyber god outfit he
Oh,
has
right.
at the end when he's inside the machine.
Oh, really?
He's got that whole suit.
Fuck, I'm going to have to watch this movie, aren't I?
Apparently, Job, Fahey's character, survives the explosion at the end of this movie.
Well,
and they put him into like a Darth Vader outfit. Like he's missing limbs and shit, but he's still like super powerful mentally.
What?
I didn't see it. I just read about
but
it,
at
but
the
it
end of the-
sounds great.
We'll get to it, but at the end of the movie, like, he puts his consciousness into machines. That
Yeah.
makes sense for the sequel. Like,
And
Right.
there you go.
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
it.
need to bring him back corporeal.
Yeah, exactly. And especially if you're going to recast him.
Yeah.
Anyways, so this is when Pierce Brosnan's like, you know what? I'm going to use this guy who mows my lawn.
Right.
Because, he's simple and blah, blah, blah. Now we're doing some Flowers for Algernon stuff.
Yes.
He kinda
That's
brings-
pretty much what this is.
Yes.
It's like a Flowers for Algernon, but the stakes are way higher.
Where am I gonna get a monkey? Hey,
I'll just
that's
use this
kind of
guy.
like one. It's pretty terrible, but that's
It's-
where we are.
It is pretty bad though, because that's his motivation.
Yes.
That's Pierce Brosnan's looking at him outside like, oh, that'll do.
But then he's trying to be nice. He's like, hey, would you like to become smarter? And he's like, well, because there's a scene where they both do Peter and him do the VR game, and Job is very bad at it, and Peter's very good. And he's like, oh, I'll get you next time, Peter. And like,
Well,
he
that's-
feels bad about his abilities.
Well, that's how he initially like tricks him into coming into the basement, because he's like Jeff Fahey's sitting on the lawn and he's like, oh, hey there, Jeff Fahey, Job, do you like playing games? And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I love games. And he's like, oh, well, I got some pretty cool games in my basement. And I'm like,
Yeah.
clink, 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 clink.
I also have some candy.
Well, yeah, that's what it starts coming off as. And then he's like,
Oh, cool, bring your 12-year-old friend too.
well, that's what he says. He's like, oh, yeah, Peter's told me about your games.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, do you want to come play games with Peter? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, I know this kid's being abused at home, but like someone's got to keep tabs on somebody.
By the way,
Yeah.
the reveal of him being abused is the best. It's back when Pierce Brosnan was smoking that cigarette, he just looks out the window, just watching this kid get beaten by his father.
And like the dude like shoves the wife and whatever. And
nuts.
I'm like, you're looking at Pierce Brosnan and there's like no reaction.
He stops smoking cigarettes, starts eating popcorn.
It looks like so he's got them like laying like on their bellies on these tables playing and like the tables are like moving and whatever, and they have their face in the little thing. It looks like the Nintendo VR. Remember those things?
Yeah, oh yeah,
the
dude.
little red masks or
Yes.
whatever.
It's old school VR, and also the effects, we should say, are horrific.
Yeah, but it's like 1992
I know.
horrific. Was it bad for then though? That's the question.
I don't think it was. I think it was okay for them.
It was
But no one was watching it like, oh my
Well,
god.
I remember back when this movie came out, people were like, "That's kind of a scary movie of what could." It was sort of scary of like what the future could be.
Oh,
like
yeah.
if you get all these mentally challenged people into the fucking VR, the world's gonna end.
Right.
There's a difference because the exterior stuff, like the men turning into marbles,
Yeah.
that looks like stupid. That
Yeah.
looks really bad. But the virtual reality stuff, that's what virtual reality looked like
Well,
for
yeah,
the most
that's-
part,
yeah,
from
that's
what I
true.
remember.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
like,
played it in the mall. It looked like that.
Yeah. And
Alien Hunter. Did anyone play Alien Hunter?
Well, we went to the same mall. Probably. to
yeah,
do
I
it.
guess that's
I
true.
don't
yeah.
think so. But back in the
Oh, the
90s,
rich boys over here playing.
We were one of the 7 malls.
I was eating grass myself.
naked.
But VR, man, like watching this shit, and then like a Disclosure previous
Yes.
episode,
Yep.
like I thought by now I would have fucking like walked into a virtual library.
With the way we were talking in
Yeah.
the 90s, absolutely.
I also thought I'd have a gun holster by now because everyone had them in the movies. Anyway,
yeah, so great detail here, by the way. So they have the first thing. Yeah, like Steve said, Fahey does bad at it. The little kid beats him or whatever. Pierce Brosnan's like, all right, cool. Like, come back for another session. We'll play a different game. Cut to Pierce Brosnan opening the refrigerator. Beautiful early 90s Coors Extra Gold bottle right there, just laughing at me.
And he goes up to Fahey, and someone I know, like it's unclear. Like I guess both Geoffrey Lewis and this priest have been like sort of raising this Fahey to grow up to be this groundskeeper or whatever.
Yeah.
But like they need to tell him anytime an adult comes to you and asks you to keep a secret, you yell and run out of the room because he's just like, well, hey, Job, you can keep a secret just between you and I, can't you? And it's like, all right, dude, no. And there's like, hands up, start screaming and leave the room.
Yeah.
I do that anytime anyone tries to tell me a secret. I don't want to know. But so he's like, I could make you smarter. Would you like to be smarter, Job?
Right.
And yeah.
So on top of playing these like different kinds of simulations, he also starts like injecting him with some sort of super juice, whatever this shit is.
But it's specifically a different super juice than the chimp was getting, because the chimp had super juice that made him more aggressive, as well as more intelligent.
Right.
This is just more intelligent.
Yeah, it's Plan 5, I
Yes,
think, is
it's
the
the bad-
military
it's the bad
thing.
one.
And then but they are giving him like nootropics and shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's
The minute like a needle comes out, really put up your hands
yes,
and scream.
exactly. Anytime someone asks you to have a secret that involves you getting injected with something,
Yep.
We're gonna go downstairs and play, and I'm gonna inject you with stuff.
We
It's gonna
are
be cool.
beyond playing Nintendo at this point, ladies and gentlemen.
it's not stranger danger. It's just straight up danger.
So we have like a montage more or less of like he keeps going over, he's doing these simulations, he's getting the drugs, he is getting smarter. We start seeing him he's like reading a book at one point. The priest chastises him for reading a book, and I was like, way to go, Catholic Church, right on schedule. All this but then he starts changing the way he dresses.
But he's also slowly turning into a snack.
Well, that's what I'm getting to. He starts changing his clothes, and he goes from the Oshkosh Bagosh overalls to wearing these fucking fine ass jeans. And we cut back to this gas station, and this lady pulls up, and she's like, "Oh, Jake, check my fluids," and he's like, "You got it." And then she looks in her side mirror and just sees this fucking ass.
Yeah, dude.
And then
Apple of
it's
an ass.
Like cut back. Oh, it's Fahey ass. What? And it's like for the rest of the movie, he dresses like a suave cowboy.
Yeah. It's
Kinda into
great.
it.
You know what?
It
Here's
works.
if you're getting smarter,
Yeah.
take the dye out of your hair, because I mean it's very clearly a bad dye job.
Sure.
Get
I
a
guess
haircut, figure it out.
I think the motivation for the hair in this, I don't know if it works, is I think it's supposed to be like bleached from the sun because he's always mowing.
Sure.
That
Yeah, I
makes
think you're
some
right.
sense.
That's
yeah.
the idea. I don't think it works. Per
But he
se.
should have put it into a ponytail.
Yeah, grow it out a little.
Oh,
Get that. It's an
shit.
awkward length. It should
It
be either
is.
longer or shorter.
It's kind of like this Prince Valiant thing. right
Yes.
now.
It's very Prince Valiant. It looks terrible throughout the whole
but-
film.
now he's like slicking it back a little bit. It's got a little bit of
It's
a
got a
quaff.
quaff. Oh my god, yeah. And then the lady, by the way, is Jenny Wright from Near Dark.
Oh, nice.
That's right.
Yeah,
oh
she's a
shit.
great actress.
He also starts defending himself. Like he talks back to Jake here.
Yes.
And there's also like the priest tries to beat him with the belt again, and he grabs it, and he's like, "I don't think you should be hitting people."
Oh,
right.
yeah. Because I mean, the guy's
It's
like fucking
true.
26 years old or 30 years old and jacked.
Yeah.
This old man's not gonna fucking whip me, dude.
Seriously.
Now, if you wanted to inject me with stuff and then play games with me, that would be a whole other thing. But we're not doing this.
We should talk a little bit about the so the
Job, it's time for my shot.
Stanley Jobus.
That
wait,
look of recognition, it's there.
Last thing about that gas station, because speaking of fucking injections, dude, this neighbor lady says to Jeff Fahey, "I'm looking forward to having my lawn mowed soon."
Yeah.
Hachi machi. Anyway,
I would be too. You look at that guy. Look at his chest.
It's one thing because like Pierce Brosnan's like, oh, this is a new program to make you smarter, and it's like pattern recognition, like do this, that, and the other thing. But then every time he does it, it's all fucking weird, like Kabbalah symbols flying at him, some weird like Aleister Crowley shit. Like I'm like, what program is this exactly?
It looks like the videos they would have put up on the background of a Madonna tour circa 1999.
yes.
Ray of Light era.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like it's one thing like I'm reading all these books all at once, but it's all this like fucking arcane shit.
it's really weird. It's
It
like
is.
I'm getting smarter and learning to worship the devil at the same time. Me and Aleister Crowley, dude.
You could do worse.
We had this program. It wasn't all these symbols originally. Originally, it was just Nick Nolte telling you the history of the world. And just into the camera, straight there.
Now we're getting on to Columbus. I had 3 ships: the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa goddamn Maria.
Do you want to hear about the 3-Day War?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I do.
press, click to press more. Yeah, I mean, like, but that's all this shit that's going on. He starts to learn to drive by himself, which is something.
Yes, and at one point, like, he goes for a ride with this kid, and he's like, "Who taught you to drive?" And Jeff Fahey's like, "I did," and then proceeds to drive over the lawn.
It's like, so he doesn't have a license, probably not.
No.
Oh,
And-
definitely not.
And then he's also, this is where like the first signs of like his galaxy brain is coming
Oh,
out.
God.
Is because he's just like, why use the car radio when I can bring my boom box into the car? It's like,
Wait.
this guy's smart now.
Well, that and plus they're both doing cocaine laugh.
They are.
They're both like, yeah, I can't do it again. Classical.
I think they are doing cocaine here too, because they're listening to these songs, multiple genres, like 5 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
It's like classical. All right, now R&B. Do you like it? I like it. I like it. Do you like it?
Dude, and he's doing the classic thing that I cannot stand when you're in someone's car is he's listening to the song for 2 seconds and changing it.
Yeah.
And the way he justifies it is he's like, well, I only need to listen to a few seconds and then I get the gist of the song because he's
Yeah.
like super smart or whatever.
Yeah.
But it gave me a flashback to one time, like being in college, someone who was on our floor was driving us to a McDonald's and she kept doing that.
Oh yeah.
And it was the longest ride to a McDonald's ever. I wouldn't be like,
Wait,
just-
wait.
Was she the
being
lawnmower man?
Yeah, was she being injected with it?
Lawnmower woman. I'm sorry.
No, definitely not. No, but it was just
She
like
eat
a.
grass.
She may have been eating grass. That's I don't know.
Did she
A big
report to
person
Pan?
eating grass.
Also, though, I was just in the back seat and I was super stoned and I was like, I just want French fries.
No, and I would rather listen.
Stephen King's Drive to McDonald's.
This is the scariest drive of all time.
It's a novelette.
Take that, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. King, when anyone drives to McDonald's, they owe you a royalty?
A royalty with cheese. Is that it, Mr. King?
Yeah, go ahead.
But no, there's one line here. So he goes to the diner, and this is when he starts to get his psychic powers. But before he does, he's like, the kid, Peter's like, wow, they have really cool comics here. He's like, well, I'm done with comics, Peter. You can take all mine. I'm like, that's some bullshit, man.
Well, 'cause he's an adult now.
Yeah.
Like, he's got an adult brain.
No, yeah,
So he's
exactly.
done
That's
with
what the movie's saying.
Yeah, I think
Leaving baby shit behind.
Yeah. Wait, what's the issue?
I
What's
just
wrong?
think, as someone who is highly intelligent himself, that loves to read comic books.
You getting injected with VR games,
Wait,
Steve?
I was going to say, who did you meet?
Whose basement are you hanging out
Do you have Psycho Man 1?
No, I don't. I wish I did. No, it doesn't exist.
It became all too real for me in this film earlier on. So the other thing, by the way, is Pierce Brosnan starts taking him to the facility.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I've done all I can in my creepy basement.
Oh, he's also getting like crazy brain headaches now. Did you
Yes.
mention that? Yeah.
Do you get the headaches, Jason? I, the Lawnmower Man, get such bad headaches.
That's
Yeah.
what it.
Yeah, we put him through the assassin program. He didn't hit one shot. he hit the back wall, not one bullseye. It's a foregone conclusion. I'm sorry. I tried to go up on a limb.
Oh, you missed the baby, the policeman.
Yeah, Treadstone is actually for all actors that almost become James Bond. They come on, they enter into Treadstone. But he starts getting psychic powers. He starts hearing people's thoughts.
Oh,
too,
right.
And like that's sort of something.
It's the first hint of like what's going on here.
But Pierce Brosnan has the ability to block him. That's the weirdest part of this movie. Like every so often, he'd be like, "What are you doing, Doc? Why are you blocking your thoughts?" I'm like, "What fucking Xavier school did Brosnan go to?"
You know what though? And again, like I haven't read fucking Grass Eater, so I don't know for sure. But like that's a fucking Stephen King thing right there.
Yeah,
we talked about this recently, but like you can't fucking spit without hitting a psychic in Stephen King stories.
It's like Dreamcatcher now.
Yeah, totally.
It is.
It would make sense if you were doing these experiments and you saw everything going well, that you would start doing it to yourself.
Yeah.
That's the movie that's cut out. Is Pierce Brosnan is doing all this stuff
That makes
along
sense.
with him.
That should have been something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be super. I'm smart, but I could be super smart.
Well, imagine that was the thing that was like he just accidentally kills Jeff Fahey in the middle of the movie. He's like, well, I guess it's up to me now. Then he starts doing it. So that like he's a highly intelligent person. He becomes a god way faster.
Right.
a
That's
cyber
something.
god.
Oh,
Listen,
right. Excuse me.
If Pierce Brosnan walked in the room right now, can read all of our minds, move stuff, says he's a god, I am signing up for that church.
Yes.
Yep. Why not?
I was kind of okay with Job's church at the end a little bit.
Sort of.
He had some good
No.
ideas.
He in a world without answers, this guy can fucking project his head.
What?
That's
No, I'm a Brosnian.
But I mean, Job was from humble beginnings. He
Yeah.
knows how what it takes to earn a buck.
He also
You know?
already has a biblical name.
Yeah.
It's
For
right
some,
there.
For some reason, it's got an E at the end of it.
Well, yeah, that's for like dumb people, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
hey, what's his job? Why is his name Job?
Bro, it's Job. I'm looking at the credits. When he takes Jeff Fahey to the place and he gets in the fucking gyroscope, whatever,
Yeah.
he is definitely, both of them are wearing Tron suits.
Yes.
These are Tron
yeah.
suits
out
through
and
and
out
through.
Tron suits. Yes.
I think they stole them from Jeff Bridges' house.
this trope of being in VR and being in a gyroscope,
Yeah.
but also spinning. It makes sense if you're in a gyroscope, and if you go left, the gyroscope turns you a little bit left.
Sure.
You go right, but this is you're just spinning the entire time. It's a
would-
very early '90s thing. I watched a
Yeah.
movie called like Virtual Combat, which has the exact
Oh,
same
yes,
thing.
you
Yes.
definitely did watch Virtual Combat.
I've seen that movie too, and it is a trip.
It's a treasure.
But I kind of wish we got that shit. I would like
Yeah.
to. The thing is, the problem
You would
with
think
it,
you would have a gyroscope in your house
exactly.
right now.
The
Yes.
the
Yep.
problem is, it's like people don't have the square footage for that.
No,
Where are you going
yes.
to keep it?
It's like a Nordic track. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
No, you just put it in your lawn, put a tarp over it. It'll be fine.
No, you know what? It would be like the cool gyroscope. It's a fucking coat rack in a month. It's
Yep.
like like, yeah, I don't know.
Absolutely, dude. It folds right up and just sits in the corner of your bedroom.
That's why I need to like wait till there's one that can fold under the bed.
That's what that. Do you see the thing though for that new mirror?
Oh wait, no, this is like the fitness thing. Or?
It's like it's got all these like exercise programs on it, but it's like a mirror.
Right.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, this is rad. Like it's a
Yeah.
mirror, and then when you turn it on, like you do exercise programs or whatever. So it's like it hangs on a wall. It's out of the way. It's way too much money.
Oh well, yeah, I'm sure it's thousands and thousands.
Yeah, no, but we're kind of there now where it's like
Right.
you don't have to hide something
That's
under the bed
true.
anymore. It can hang, and it also serves another function. So you're basically buying
A mirror.
like a $3,000 mirror. Is the
That's
idea.
exciting.
That's great.
But this is when he fucks that lady.
Dude, this is a scene and a half.
This is an erotically charged scene because you got Jeff Fahey in a movie, and let's do it.
But it's not even like we're just gonna have this sex scene. She's like, he's mowing the lawn,
Yeah, of course.
with his shirt off. now.
He knows what's up.
Yeah, and she's like,
putting
"Oh,
the
hey,
vibe
you
out
want
there.
some lemonade?" And he's like, "Lemonade, please."
And
Jeffrey Lewis is in the corner. Lemonade means sex. Go get fucked. Go get fucked. Go ahead, Joe.
Well,
Go
'cause
get fucked.
Well, Jeffrey Lewis is all about this dude losing his virginity
Yeah.
because he's like, hey, that lady likes to fuck, Job. Or he's doing a bad Irish accent, which I won't do because it's really bad. And I don't know why he's doing
He's
it.
looking for fucking marshmallows at the end of a rainbow, dude. It's
But it's like,
ridiculous.
oh, and he's like, oh, yeah. And like the other guy, this dude, Jake, is listening. He's like, what'd you say? She's kind of my girlfriend. And you calling her a whore. He's like, she doesn't do it for money. She likes it. And it's like all this like weird shit.
like Jeffrey Lewis is basically saying like, oh yeah, ever since it's either like she was widowed
Yeah.
or the dude left her or whatever. It's like ever since she's back on the market, she just loves to fuck.
Hey, Joe, come over here. Now, this is a tiny camera. Now, you put one of them up in the corner of the bedroom, and then you won't put one in a toilet.
Hey, Job, I just also couldn't help but notice you're no longer mentally challenged. I noticed that you used to be, but I now know that, you're...
Oh yeah, I stopped drinking soda.
And it all just...
Let's move along.
Well, that's what because Jeffrey Lewis gets in a fight with the priest when
Yes.
he's like, "How dare you be reading a
Yeah.
book?" And
Yes.
Jeffrey Lewis is like, "Hey, this reading is making him smarter." And I'm like, "Oh man, come on! You think that's what's going on here?"
They also suggest that, like, this priest has been abusing him, like, since he was 5.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, because that's just been like the name of the game.
So they're having... So she brings him in. She's like, have you ever kissed a woman? And I'm already like, this is not all right. And like, she's like, give me your
Give
tongue.
me your tongue,
Nice.
and then even worse,
He
as
does
if.
it.
Well, yeah, and it's gross, and you have to watch because he just like sticks his tongue out like he's at the doctor.
Yeah.
and she's like, "Okay, I can work with this," and she's like sucking on his tongue.
She,
And
she has to put peanut butter on.
Oh, God.
then it's a crazy thing where like the camera tilts down and he grabs her ass.
Yeah.
and she goes like soft, and he goes yeah, and then she fucking grabs his junk and goes hard, and he goes yeah.
Yeah,
And I am screaming at the television. Are
As
you
you
kidding
should
me
be.
with this?
that's
As
amazing.
you should be.
It's a movie for
Cyber
adults,
God.
guys.
Oh
It's a
my
movies
god!
for adults.
And yeah, no, he
Cyber
just he fucks this woman's brains out.
And they become like an item sort of... They're watching like pornographic television at some point. I don't know what this is.
It's the sex ads, isn't it?
It's
This
like,
is-
but it's
yeah.
sex ad after sex ad after sex ad. There's like 2 in a row.
Dude, when you were watching the USA Network in 1992
that's
at
true.
like 12:30 at night, it was back to back. Those were the only people buying ad time.
It was the transition of Fox News from when Ailes was on screen
Yeah.
to when he was in the background. And then it was just sex ads
You know
for
what?
24 hours a day.
Whatever happened to... I bought my steel building and I love it.
You know, ever since I got my new catheter, which is still one of the funniest ones I've seen lately.
But he's like, oh, I have an idea. Why don't you come to my buddy's fucking... Yeah, it's coming. It's terrific. You come in the virtual reality. No, it's like, why don't you show up to my buddy's facility and we'll go on a gyro ride together and have like
this
weird,
scene, yeah.
even weirder
Oh,
sex.
this is amazing.
Yes.
This is when he takes her to cyber sex.
Yes.
which is great.
It's
And
they
he
both,
accidentally like destroys her brain.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I guess also like
Jack. I mean,
The-
like that's what it turns into.
the I guess the security is like, hey Joe, bringing your girlfriend, huh?
That's
All right.
great point. Thank
Yeah.
you. I'm watching this scene and I'm like, well, how the fuck did he get in without Pierce Brosnan? And I think it's because he's just a regular.
Yeah.
No, because
Norm.
by now he's got the mental powers.
Yeah.
So
Oh, so
I
he's
think
doing
he's.
Oh, you
No.
think he's Jedi mind
yeah,
tricking?
he's just blind.
That's in neither cut, by the way.
Well, no, but like him and Jenny Wright go into this scenario
Sure.
and like it
Right.
looks like a Peter Gabriel video,
does.
and then
Big
she's
time.
like dead.
But the funny thing is she's like, oh my God, you're beautiful. But he's just a big blue goop.
Yeah.
And she's a big pink
And then
goop.
he turns into like a monster and starts doing like the Birdo bow,
Yeah, he
bow,
does.
bow
Yes.
at her.
I don't know what any of that
What?
is
You're not into
supposed-
monster play? Me and Peter always fuck his monsters.
Oh my God.
bow, bow.
Wow.
But that's what they do because like first they're having like passionate, weird, slick love together. They turn into a dragonfly.
Yeah.
It's sort of we're one. And then he's like, but also, hey, you ever see the guy in Jabba's palace that plays the piano? Want to have sex with that guy? And she's like, no.
Max Rebo, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, and she also gets like stuck in like digital goop at one
Yes,
point, which
that's
is
right.
more.
Yeah, you know, that's
Because that's a weird, and she's like screaming from inside this thing. Because that's when she starts freaking out when she gets stuck, and she's like, "I don't like this."
Yes.
And it's like too late. Here comes
Yeah.
fucking Sweetums from the Muppets or whatever.
Wow. Yeah, he's not finished yet. He needs to turn into a monster.
Bow. Bow. Yeah, and I don't know why. Like she like loses her mind. She's crazy. He kind of like puts her on her bed, like that's how I found her, and kind of just leaves.
Well, did you look at that shot closely? Because it's a bit more problematic than that.
Because she's in
Really?
her lingerie.
She's
at that
totally she's got like a top on, but then like there's a blanket that's
Yeah.
over her waist, which usually implies nudity underneath.
Yeah,
and I'm like, so you took her?
Here's, you know,
Lawnmower
you should have
Man.
like lit a cigarette, put it in her hand, hope for it to catch fire.
like,
Just
hey,
end this whole
why don't
thing.
you smoke in bed?
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan swears by it.
And then later on, they suggest that the way they catch her is she's just wandering the neighborhood naked,
laughing.
laughing at everything.
I don't know what I mean. You know what? Sometimes like movies have some loose ends, and you're like, whatever. But in this instance, you got to tie that shit up.
Yes,
what are
you
you
do.
talking about?
Meanwhile, the shop is getting more involved by Dean Norris and this dude Timms are basically like fighting with each other. It's like, you have to give Job the monkey serum that makes him aggressive. And the funny thing is, like, Pierce Brosnan's doing the things. One thing is green. You watch Timms take the green potion away and add the red potion. And fucking Pierce Brosnan's like, what, you changed the formula? And I'm like, yeah, idiot, look at the fucking color.
And this is like during their, I guess this is like right after like the funding trip. For
Yes.
some reason, we have to see Pierce Brosnan go and talk to Dean Norris.
It takes a
Yeah.
long time for this.
This is sort of
Lawnmower
where,
Man goes on vacation for a little bit.
Yeah, and this is just a waste of time. It does give us one thing, which I believe this is the emergence of Pierce Brosnan's leather jacket.
Yes.
which is a welcome addition.
It's a heavy
awesome.
leather. It's
Yeah.
a big, thick leather jacket, but it's not insulated, which I like.
yeah.
But it's not like a greaser leather jacket. It's almost kind of like a coat, but not really.
You can tell it's a very expensive designer leather jacket.
And that collar is up at all times.
Oh,
the collar is
absolutely.
way
Oh,
up
yeah.
at all times.
But this is where you see, like, this is
It's
1992.
like
It's
an
a little-
Irish Dennis Leary, a little bit. A black Irish Dennis Leary.
I love to smoke.
Smoking in bed.
You got mochaccino, you got frappuccino, you got fuckaccino. What the fuck?
But this is where you get a 1992 teaser for what he's going to look like being James Bond, because they go to this hotel.
Yes.
Because they go to somewhere in Virginia. He
Yeah.
thinks they're going to D.C., and then
Yeah.
Timms is like, tricked you. We're actually going to this place in Virginia to meet with Dean Norris or whatever. That meeting goes tits up. They're back at the hotel. He realizes something like these dudes are coming for him at the hotel.
Because he quits because there's a meeting with Dean Norris, blah, 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 and Dean Norris is like, we will use him for the military. By the way, you've been giving him the red formula the whole time. He's like, what, the red formula? And it's like, obviously it's fucking red, but like he quits in a huff. He's like, I'm quitting.
Right.
This is over with, and I'm taking Job with me.
And so Dean Norris has sent these two toughs to like snuff him out or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Hilarious detail here. Pierce Brosnan and Timms are they have adjoined hotel rooms because Tim's opens like the connecting door. He's like, "You made a jerk of yourself in that meeting."
Yes.
And Pierce Brosnan punches this dude out and makes a run for it.
He punches him in the face and the balls.
Oh, there's a ball shot?
Yeah, he punches him in the balls at some point in this
Combo.
And so you get
combo.
I'm sorry, I was just looking for an extra towel.
By the way, just a quick life lesson: you never quit the FBI. You can quit the FBI. Never quit the CIA or the mafia.
Nope.
If you want to leave, you just say everything is fine and you disappear in the night.
That's
how you quit the mafia and the CIA, which are basically the same
Which
thing.
we don't recommend doing because the mafia needs you, and you can't betray the family.
No,
Plus,
for
they
sure.
have great benefits.
Yeah.
Exactly, and you're just helping the community. So why are you trying to get out?
This somehow seems even more nefarious than the CIA.
Yeah, it's just
This
the
is
shop.
like BlackRock or
Yeah.
something, like
Black
some private,
Rock.
like
You mean
Blackwater.
Blackwater. Isn't there also a BlackRock?
Well,
Bad
that's-
Day at Black Rock is a Spencer Tracy
There's also
movie.
that's a good movie.
It's also the name of the CBS tower in Midtown. Black
okay.
Rock.
Oh, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, that's same evil.
That's
stuff.
another evil entity. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, you just don't be like, well, I'm quitting and I'm taking all my information with me.
Yep.
Take that.
Absolutely
You
not.
just say, oh, cool. I will see you guys Monday morning. I'm just gonna go visit my mom real quick, and then you go to
She's sick.
you go to Mexico.
But yeah, so like these dudes are coming for him in the hotel room, and he like fails at renting a car.
Yes.
This lady's like, "All right, yeah, like there's a subcompact that just came in. Let me just print this receipt." And it cuts to the printer, and it's like, like the sheet of paper is coming out really slowly, and he's like, "You know what? Forget it." And he just starts running away. So he's in like the back hallway or something of this hotel, and a dude with a machine gun comes out, and Pierce Brosnan like has a little altercation with him or whatever. A guy, this is what it is. The
It's a
guy's like,
bellboy,
"Hold
yeah.
it right there." This bellboy comes with like a fucking tray with champagne on it, and he breaks the bottle over his head. And this is, you see Pierce Brosnan with this machine gun, and I was
right.
like, "Oh yeah, oh James Bond, oh yeah," which isn't too bad.
But he also just gives up the machine gun immediately. Like again, if the shop is coming for me, I'm holding on to that machine
yeah.
gun.
But you can't just walk outside of a hotel with a fucking machine gun.
Well, it's
Prove
Virginia,
it.
though. I mean, I
It's
don't
Yeah,
know.
true,
what are
open
Virginia's
carry,
laws?
dude.
I mean, I know it's not Texas, but I gotta buy my fucking Whopper with my gun in my hand.
No, you go walk around and everyone's like, "Thank you, Patriot," and you're like, "You're welcome."
That guy right there, he's a good guy with a gun. I was so scared to go in this Burger King and order my Impossible Whopper, but thanks to that fucking maniac and that machine gun, I felt safe getting a ¡1 with an Impossible patty.
Thank you, ma'am. Just practicing my civil liberties.
Thank you, Patriot.
I fucking loved that.
And so like
He steals the fucking dude's car, which is hilarious because the other tough is like leaning on the back of it smoking, and Pierce Brosnan like just like gets in like got you and peels out. Kind of great.
Just another day being evil. But what? What the fuck?
That's exactly what he's doing.
And meanwhile, Job is now, for whatever reason, and maybe it's just because of the potions he's been taking, it's time to take vengeance on all that have done him wrong in the past.
Absolutely.
And it's-
Marble Cur.
Yeah. So the first one he gets is the dude at the gas station, right?
He does. No, I think the priest comes first.
Oh, the priest. Oh my God, the priest. Oh, Jesus.
The priest fucking gets it. So the priest is like, it's kind of hilarious because it's the middle of the night and this priest like hears something from the church and he goes in and it's just this dude in like old man boxer shorts and a bathrobe on.
Yeah.
Like, is anyone in my church? And it's Jeff Fahey like standing up in the fucking like choir platform with the Tron suit on, like out in the open. So he's out. He's a Tron guy.
Now, let me ask you. If you fart in that thing, is it staying in there?
I think so.
It looks like pretty tight.
50-50.
It's a one-use thing. You got to just burn it afterwards because it's just, any.
Oh, like a condom?
Yeah.
right, especially after all the cyber sex he had, is turning into monsters.
Definitely a good point. Yeah, it's sticky down there.
Fahey.
I'm just saying I'm not saying what it is.
Oh,
it's sticky
yeah,
down there.
sure.
What could it be? Who can tell?
It's just you're playing Hangman, and
Sticky
it's
with all
3
that-
letters. There's a C, a dash, and an M, and you're like, well, I don't know what that is.
Cam? Kim? Would that be Sim?
I give up. I just give up. What could it be?
Oh, he's just sticky with all that raspberry jam.
Yeah, that's all.
Fine.
He's just been putting raspberry jam on his dick.
He burns.
That's probably a great sensation.
He burns this priest to death, but
After yelling "Judgment Day is here," by the way,
he burns this cartoon to death because this is silly.
That was amazing.
It's
yeah.
insane. Like, just get a puppet.
it's computer flames.
I know
though.
it is. Yeah.
But like but I'm saying like it's even more computer flames
Yes.
because they don't. Unless it's just that bad of a job, it looks like it's intentionally made to look like VR flames.
I need you to cut to, Merle the stuntman
Yes.
with his pads on being
Yes.
lit on fire.
I agree with Chris here. I need Merle the Stuntman.
You need to have Job walking around with like another one of these suits, or like a helmet of some kind, and throws it onto this dude and like puts him in VR and then burns him in VR.
Oh, dude, that's kind of like
Right?
that's the plot of. I don't think there is one, but it feels like the plot of an X-Files episode, which is like Mulder. They're putting helmets on people and making them think they're being burned alive.
I kind of agree though, because this is when
You ever hear the helmet alien?
This is when the movie stops making sense, because like him getting telekinesis and telepathy, sure, it's like that gray area, like sure.
Mm-hmm.
When he starts turning people into jelly, I'm like, wait, what?
Because he's a god now, dude. Cyber god. It wasn't all about the coming. He came that woman to death, and now the fucking real show's about to begin, where he becomes premier of Earth.
But I guess he's talking about like, I've unlocked ancient parts of my brain that allows me to do this.
Well, speaking of ancient, there is some detail that is just thrown out, and then the movie's like, hey, audience, if you heard it, fine. If not, let's just move on. He says something to Pierce Brosnan about, like, this magic's been around forever. This is what shaman and apothecaries used in the Middle Ages. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yes, but your brain is only 32 years old. You maniac.
What they're getting at is like the whole thing of like, we only use 10% of our brains.
Right,
If we use the other 90%, we could turn people into digital fire. And I could put up a GIF right there in real life that says under construction.
Pretty much, he then goes to the bully at the gas station.
Oh, right.
And he just, what does he do to him here?
This I don't understand, because he just goes, like, you see, there's a close-up of the actor's eyeballs, and you see him, like, you see the Lawnmower Man, like, in the eyeballs, and Jeff Fahey says, Lawnmower Man's in your head now, Jake.
Oh, yeah.
There's no escape, ever. And I was like, my note just literally says, what?
What's happening here is you see a quick shot of like a digital lawnmower running over his brain.
Oh, that's right.
So
That's
he's
right.
turning him into mentally
And
challenged.
a fat Jeff Fahey is following after eating all the brain matter.
Well, that's more like it.
You're right. I totally forgot about the graphic after that, which is just, first of all, the inside of this kind of looks like Homer Simpson, which is weird. And then it's, the lawnmower cuts up his brain.
So I guess it's just like a lobotomizing.
Now, Mr. King, we have many cases to get here today. If they inserted a shot of Jeff Fahey eating grass, would that satisfy your requirement, Mr. King?
Getting warmer.
If there was some sort of clown, if we just put a title card that said Maine in the beginning of the film, Mr. King, can we please go home?
That's condescending. All I want is a real live pan to come in and say hello to Jeff Fahey. That's all I ask for. A new line, fuck me.
Find me a fucking goat boy, and I'll let this suit drop.
Well, there is sort of something that when Pierce Brosnan comes back and the final altercation kind of has a sacrifice. They kind of crucify him. So I think that's kind of like the story a little bit.
Kind of, sort of,
Sure.
There's a sacrificial element.
Not enough.
Whatever. So then he goes, and this is the part where I do not forgive this movie, which is it's the dad. He abuses the kid and the wife off screen. They're like kind of cowering in a bathroom.
You see, you mean right then they're being terrorized off screen. But we did see one shot of him actually hitting them. Yeah.
No, that's not the part that bothers me. So then he's like being a fucking jerk. He's got the tall boy. He's got WrestleMania. His abusive dad. Check.
Yeah.
This was, okay, I just had a quick problem with this, because who just randomly turns on WrestleMania? That is a fucking event that you plan for.
Abusive dads.
You're not just like click. Ooh, WrestleMania is on.
Well, you don't know if that's a tape or not, dude. That might
shit,
be
he's just watching
WrestleMania's
old tape.
past.
No, well, that's the thing. I would love if that was true, but this is another. We see a television in this movie, and it's like war all the time, and the guy's like, "Brr," and he changes the channel to wrestling.
I think they're trying to make a statement here about like violence on television influences people.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're attempting to do. Yeah.
And then Fahey blows. It becomes lawnmower door.
Blows what?
Blows through the door with a
okay.
lawnmower, with an actual lawnmower.
Finally,
his lawnmower, Big Red, as they call it.
Which is powered by his mind, so it's like the story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. You know, Your Honor, I should have finished the film before I brought this suit upon
If
you.
there were any references to interdimensional monsters that you cannot see, and if you saw them, you would go mad. Mr. King, can we please leave?
You get me up at 7 a.m. for this shit.
You got me up, Mr. King. You are wasting the court's time with a Lawnmower Man lawsuit. This movie made $12 million. I'll pay for it myself.
Not one Mainer in that movie. Not one.
That's a good question, though, because when the wife at the beginning is like, Jack, I thought we were going to the city.
Yeah.
What the fuck is she talking about? Where is this movie set?
It's a great question.
Because it's like, I mean,
I don't
we're
know.
making it in California.
California-ish. It feels California-ish. Yeah.
I don't know where the Power Rangers hideout is located.
That's a building that would only be in
I
California,
think
I feel.
Seattle was mentioned at some point.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
It's
Not
big,
raining
tech,
enough.
big tech out there, dude.
Yeah.
Big tech.
That's
Just
true.
Take your big tech out.
I mean, actually, that would make sense because Pierce Brosnan is always soaking wet.
You're always soaking wet.
for his soaking
Yeah,
wetness.
Yeah. It's
but-
sticky down there.
So the lawnmower bursts in, and then the guy goes, "Aye!" and that's it. And I'm like, no way, dude. I need to see this guy become chum.
Did you see him like get chased around with it at all?
Yeah, he's chased
Okay.
around a little bit.
And then you saw he runs outside.
Yeah.
And it chases him outside.
yes,
Yeah, I believe
Yes,
so.
but like you
You
hear
impact.
later from the No Man member
Yes.
who's playing the cop
That
in
guy.
this.
Yeah.
Roger Predactor.
Yes.
Oh yes,
You're right. Yep.
and he's like found some guts in the bird bath, and I'm
Oh.
like, why didn't I see that?
That's a great line. It's kind of that, but the guy, like, so Roger Predactor's talking to Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan, what the fuck happened here? And the guy's like filling him in on it. And the other cop comes up. He's like, "Hey, Predactor, where's the rest of them?" And he goes, "Bird bath."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Grr."
That's actually from the King story. That's what I read. Like,
Yeah.
That's the only thing
Oh.
that this guy.
All
has
right,
this-
well, you put the bird bath in, and that was my favorite part. So, okay. Case dismissed.
Stephen King's Lawnmower Man. It is.
Sigh.
And then this is Fahey does some Jedi mind tricking here.
Yes.
Because he fucking makes the two cops be like, "Well, nope, nothing to see here, just a random accident." Pierce Brosnan's like, "You just said it was a murder." "Oh, no, we misspoke."
Well, Pierce Brosnan is just a handsome man in a leather jacket. Goes up to Roger Predactor, like, "Well, what happened here? I'm very invested in this family. I'm a neighbor." Like, "Well, it was a crazy night last night. Well, first of all, this happened. Then this other guy got murdered, and then I went crazy. This other lady went nuts." And I'm like, "Whoa, cop! You don't even know if this guy's the murderer. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, that security guard was very helpful.
exactly." And then yes, Fahey Jedi mind tricks like, "Yeah, it was an accident. All these accidents happen."
Right.
And then he's like, "Oh no, he's gone mad with power." And this is when like kind of the last confrontation happens, which Eric says is basically like Fahey and he have a standoff where he's like, "I am the new religion, I am new God." Blah, blah, blah.
Cyber Christ is used.
Right. He said
Cyber-
by the year 2001, everything will be connected to me because
Right.
he's overestimating the reach of the internet by 2001.
That's
Yeah, you gotta
true.
pump that up to 2008.
Yeah.
We're barely off dial-up at that point. Now, so this, I think, is another huge detour, what I
Okay.
saw versus what you guys did. Because guess what, you guys? This wife is still in the picture.
Why?
So we cut back into Pierce Brosnan's house. Fahey has, like, set up shop there.
Yeah.
And he's mind controlling the wife, and she's dressed
What?
up in like a 1950s like housewife costume. She's got all this
No.
makeup on.
What?
And he's like making her like do domestic shit around the house.
See,
Why?
Blade Runner 2049 took it from this.
Yeah.
So what happens is these two goofballs from Dean Norris's office
Got it.
show up to Pierce Brosnan's house, and they're like, "Oh, hey, is Dr. Angelo here?"
Yeah.
And one dude comes to the door, the other guy's hanging back on the lawn. The guy at the door, she's like, "Oh, yes, he is here. Why don't you come in?" So he comes in and like shit kind of goes tits up. I believe he's got Pierce Brosnan tied up in the basement.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Is what's going on here.
And that's in the theatrical.
right.
He is tied
This
up in
is
the basement.
Jeff Fahey becomes kind of like a Velcro Hellraiser.
He does.
But yeah, he's like controlling this wife or whatever, and Fahey's like, oh yeah, he like makes him like look at her or something, and she takes a. This is hilarious. She's in the kitchen.
Yeah.
She opens a drawer and takes out a handgun. And I'm like, all right, you're just keeping that next to the spatula, whatever. And she goes back to the dude and is like, okay, here he is or whatever, and shoots the first guy dead.
Okay.
And then the other guy on the lawn is like, no! And he opens fire on this woman and lights her the fuck up on the front porch.
Okay, it's not sexist anymore.
That's it.
Her fucking chest just explodes,
really?
and she falls forward.
You're
Yeah.
seeing
That's
blood.
disgusting.
Yes.
Because you don't see no blood in that.
That's why I was
Right.
confused when you were saying that. I was like, did they not see the wife thing?
No, the wife does not have.
Because she gets one other scene sort of in the middle of the movie when Job
Yeah,
goes over to the
I
house.
would hope so.
And but it's nothing though.
Yeah.
It's just to let you know she's still there, whatever.
Yeah.
Because she says she's on the porch reading, and Job is like, "Oh hey, is Dr. Angelo home?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's inside." And then he reads her thought, and her thought is, "Yeah, that asshole's probably in there jerking off on his computer."
Well, she's right.
Yeah.
When she's right. Now, let me get it straight. It's a bloody shootout.
Yes.
So that happens, and yet the abusive dad,
Yeah,
not like a splat of blood even.
Well, he's a man providing for his
Oh,
family.
I see.
She's a nagging woman.
blow her to up. Blow her to up.
That's terrible.
Angela. By the way, here's the thing: you write a script, it's called, and you name all your characters, and
Yep.
then you get to the casting phase, and you cast Pierce Brosnan. You then change that guy's name from Larry Angelo.
Yes, absolutely.
Dr. Larry Angelo.
There's
Pierce
not a
Brosnan.
fucking drop of Italian blood in that man.
Oh man, this was originally supposed to be De Niro.
But like even a Larry, even if it was like Larry Fitzgibbons, I'd still be like, gotta
Yeah.
class that up a little bit for Pierce. But whatever. The last he escapes. I'm sorry. The boy Peter comes over, unties Pierce Brosnan,
Right.
Because what's his face went over to the facility, and this is why Uber was a really important invention. Because like Pierce Brosnan, instead of being like, well, I'll call a cab and save the day, it's like, could your mom give me a ride to this incredibly dangerous situation?
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now this poor mother's like wrapped up in this crazy adventure.
This is when Job goes to the facility. All of Dean Norris's dudes are there. There's this standoff. Oh my god, this is the crazy fucking huge Fahey head.
Yes,
Yes.
this happens on the front lawn.
Yes, that's right, on the front lawn, which is crazy. There's these two guys with machine guns that are going to try and get him. Fahey manifests, astral planes his VR head.
Out of nowhere.
It's awesome. It's this big giant orange head, and he starts turning these guys into like marbles, and they just scatter and they cease to exist.
And it wouldn't be that, except for they make that like clink sound.
Yes, yeah.
That is marble. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I would just imagine this is like, stupid data garbage. Like no sound or anything. They
Yeah.
just turn into bubbles. But
they turn
no,
into
it's
actual
marbles.
marbles.
It's actual marbles.
And he's able to do this because it turns out our entire reality is a simulation.
Oh,
and
shit.
we are in
Oh.
VR now, motherfuckers.
Dude, yeah, twist ending.
prequel to the Matrix.
Twist ending to your life. Because it's true, because this is all made up.
Well, no, it just that's what the other 90% of our brain does is turn. You get to astral project your enormous head and like all sorts of stuff.
You're
We were
in it
doing that all-
now, man.
That's how we talk to each other back then.
I might start taking injections if I can do that.
I used 90% of my brain. That's why my face looks like this.
I've been putting injections of nootropics into my cheek.
I've been playing 90% of my brain chess.
Turns out nootropics do nothing for syphilis.
So he goes to confront the facility. Now we're just kind of reusing effects. All these guards turn to jelly, right? Am I nuts here?
Well, no,
Or-
he attacks the guards, at least what I saw,
Oh, wait.
with a swarm of virtual bees.
I forgot
Yes,
about the.
that's-
How did I forget about the virtual? Yes, the
Yeah.
This is exactly what happens.
Barry B.
Fucking nuts.
Benson shows up. Hey,
We were watching it last night, and my wife's like, "They're supposed to be bees," and I'm like, "I don't know." Oh, yep, there's a close up of one.
Yeah, you finally
Great.
get these close-ups, dude. Wow, it looks terrible. Ooh,
it looks
it's dumb.
horrific. He turns. I'm sorry, no, he turns Tim's Dean Norris's number 2 into a bunch of marbles as well.
Yes, he does. Poor Tim's.
Yeah, and like, so his thing is like, I'm gonna go inside the computer, and what I'm gonna do is infect everything, and my birth will be the every telephone will ring at the same time. Which,
My birth will cry. My birth cry will be the sound of every phone on this planet ringing in unison.
Death is but a doorway. I'll be back.
Yeah, totally.
so like, Pierce Brosnan's like, well, thanks for the ride. Could you listen? Is it weird if you wait here for me?
Go back to the end of the driveway and wait for me there.
But I'm gonna take his son. Me and him have a
Oh
special
no, the
relationship.
kid escapes.
Yeah, he
Oh,
runs it. Here's
yeah.
a quick question, though, because it might be the final divergence
Yeah.
in the two cuts here. Do you guys know the end of the Geoffrey Lewis character?
No, they don't
See-
do it.
Okay,
He
so
just vanishes from the
Yeah.
movie. I think.
this is it's fucking crazy, and they must have cut it out because it relates back to the fucking monkey assassination.
Did they light him up too, man?
So what happens is the guy who killed the monkey, right? You see him again. He's at the facility, and Geoffrey Lewis is who gives
Oh right, he gives
Job a ride
That is
there.
in the movie. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Yes, he does.
But so
Again, Uber would solve all these problems.
the guy, the fucking sniper dude, just starts opening fire and he kills Geoffrey Lewis. And then Job looks and realizes it's the same guy, freaks out and stares at him, and he makes the guy take the rifle and shoot himself in the face.
No, I'm sorry. Yes, this is in the movie, but not.
Ah.
You don't know who that guy is. He's just like a bad guy.
No,
Right, but do you see Geoffrey Lewis get killed?
Yes, you do. Yes,
Do you see?
Yes.
it?
No,
Okay,
no,
I
no,
but
don't,
you
I
do,
don't remember.
and you also know who the guy is because the guy did kill the chimp in the beginning, but it was just the one shot rather than the massacre.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, so they use the same guy
Yeah.
when they're at the
Yeah.
shed or whatever, and
But
he's
yeah,
the
oh,
one
yeah.
that opens fire.
That guy putting his own sniper rifle at his head or
Yep,
whatever is
and
really funny.
It's awesome, and they do a great job of positioning him. He's next to like some huge concrete wall, so the fucking brains just splatter back on it. Brilliant.
It's pretty great. Yeah. So now, he gets in. They're both in VR. They're chasing each other through VR.
Just whatever.
The mom and the kid. What happens to her? She falls asleep. Is that what happens? Or like,
Yes.
does he knock her out or what?
No, I think she just falls asleep,
He
doesn't she?
took an Ambien
Yes.
before he asked for all this shit.
Listen,
Yeah,
I, know
Well, I
you're-
suppose I should get behind the wheel and help you.
I know you're very tired. Why don't you nap out over here? I'll just do this whole facility escape situation. I'll be right back. I'll buy us some pizza. Now we're hanging out.
And yes, Peter. 5 minutes.
So they're in the VR, and this is where we get the sacrificial kind of element where Job is now nailing Pierce Brosnan's little avatar to
Yeah.
the cross.
This is really something.
It's
Yeah.
quite something. Yeah.
It looks like crap, man. It's like this
Well,
silver.
yeah,
looks bad.
but in a beautiful way.
But
It's like a beautiful crap.
Pierce
It's like a
Brosnan
great
has
shit.
infected the
Like you-
system.
It's like a shit you almost want to take a photo of. Anyway,
You almost want to take a
Yeah.
photo.
Sure.
almost. Yeah,
Yeah,
I personally wouldn't, but I can understand why someone
And
might.
not for a sexual thing, for pride.
No,
yeah,
for,
no, just-
pride.
No, you
Just
send
show
it to
a
all your
buddy.
friends. Like, look what I just did.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be sexual, Chris, unless you want it that way.
So he's whatever. He's fucking crucified.
Pierce Brosnan has infected the system with a virus that
Right.
prevents Job from leaving because it's like this weird like pixagonal world where everywhere that would be an exit it says access denied.
Right, like he's locked in a virtual room
Yes.
or whatever.
And what was it? Now like Peter's in the facility, and he lets Dr. Angelo go to
Yes,
save.
he saves the day because like the mom falls asleep and the kid's like, I'm gonna run towards that facility. Oh boy,
There has to be something there. How would someone just fall asleep?
you're caring for your child. There's explosions a quarter mile away.
I don't, but like I even
Yes.
remember watching it thinking like, did she just fucking fall asleep? What happened?
I mean, but that's at this point you're supposed to expect that Jeff Fahey can do anything.
That's true.
That's
yeah.
kind of
so
what it's all
Fahey
blanket.
knocked her out, you
Yeah,
think?
or like I mean,
Well, no, like it's you start talking to a mother about virtual reality.
Sure.
Yeah. Sounds good, hon.
Be careful.
A racing game with big metal. That's oh god. Okay, that sounds great.
Mom, do you know this is where the Power Rangers? Oh god, I'm so tired. My life is so tiring with you.
The kid is frees Pierce Brosnan or whatever, and again in another fucking total proto Bond move, Pierce Brosnan has laid fucking proximity mines all over the place.
I don't know what this guy just knows how to do that, huh? Okay.
Where did he get them?
Yes, he just has them in his house. I mean, like, I guess if you're making VR shit, you got a whole bunch of manifestos. You're gonna get some bombs.
I guess that's true.
He saves the kid, and like it looks like Fahey's not gonna get out, but then he finally does. They very clearly show you that he gets out of the facility. Oh, they show, by the way, his like Eric said earlier, his charred remains, which is just a puppet.
Yeah.
Brosnan and the kid barely escape. The mom is like, hold on. Oh, hey, hon. The place on fire, huh?
Did you two have fun at your science project or whatever?
They get out. We cut to sometime later.
Right.
And like this dude, he inherits a family, I guess, basically. He's like, I'm your dad now, Peter.
Well,
Worked out pretty good for me.
Peter's dad murdered by the lawnmower, and then the wife shot to death. You don't see it, but she's definitely dead.
Now I got a pretty good new family, only slightly used. A couple of, these bruises will heal.
I heard you have an opening for a husband. I'd love to audition for you.
He definitely sets that up earlier in the movie, though, because she's like, oh, you're so good with Peter. You should have kids of your own. And he's like, yes. Or maybe I'll just borrow Peter every once in a while.
And I guess you can come along for the ride.
Andrew, in your version, his wife was just destroyed.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there any mourning? Is there any funeral? Is there anything?
No, there's definitely no funeral. And I don't think there's any mourning because he's fucking chasing Geoffrey Lewis's pickup truck down the street.
Wow.
It's bonkers, man.
And it's like, oh, we're going to go on a nice vacation, all of us. What's that? Every phone on the earth is ringing at the same time.
Right, and then it's like we cut to all these different parts of the country, and you hear multiple phone sounds.
But
ringing.
you do actually, and maybe this is just in the version I watched, but like at the end of the movie, Pierce Brosnan's like, well, that was a pretty big bummer about all those deaths, but my work shall continue.
Yes,
and I'm like, what are you talking about?
He has the line, "Oh, I'm taking my work underground." Yeah, and I was like, how? Well, it's all destroyed.
Why though?
Why? Yeah.
It's do not open. You've opened the door. You were able to escape it. Christ, dude.
See, now the sequel, what they should have done was done like a super future, like how Mad Max 1 is kind of in a regular time, and then Mad Max 2 is like destroyed everything. Like the world should be like totally cyberpunk. He's living in the sewers like Dennis Leary in Demolition Man.
Actually, it is a dystopian future, but it has nothing to do with Pierce Brosnan. It's all with O'Brien, Austin O'Brien's character. But it is a dystopian. Like,
is it really?
It's like a bunch of kids like hanging out, and then like they get special points that allow them to go into the cyberspace.
Oh, weird.
And like it's like how they live.
Right.
Like,
is it the same actor?
It's Austin O'Brien is
Yes.
back for it.
Oh, okay.
He's the only one to return. He's like with a bunch of wayward youth.
Yeah.
Can I recycle a bit from about 300 episodes ago?
Sure.
This is Pierce Brosnan getting the script for Lawnmower Man 2.
Shockingly, I remember that joke.
I don't know where that's from, but that's somewhere around here.
Sure, somebody will tell us. But yeah, the phones are ringing off the hook, and that's the end of the movie.
Yes.
Wild shit. And what's crazy is I saw those scenes. I'm not nuts, but I cannot imagine that the amount of extra stuff that I saw equals 2 hours and 20 minutes. I think that has to be bad intel.
Because it's a good movie, man. It moves.
I guess so. I'm going to open it back up on my fucking Apple TV. I think actually, because I didn't have to rent it, I think it's playing on HBO. So I'm going to go back and look at that. Or no, we're recording an episode on Sphere right after this. That's what HBO was. I did pay to watch this movie.
Lawnmower Man is on Showtime right now.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
Sphere is as long as the director's cut of Lawnmower Man.
So, Steve Sadek, would you recommend The Lawnmower Man?
Yes, with the caveat that you always have to remember that I am your older brother's friend that breathes through his mouth. Like, that's why I like this movie. It's got that 90s, like, bullshit aesthetic. I was afraid to watch this movie as a little kid because I was like, oh, that's that horror movie.
Right?
I was like, oh my gosh, Stephen King's Lawnmower Man. Eek! Which when I watched it last night, I was like, what are you talking about, fat kid? I was pretty shocked that this was not a horror movie at all. No, it's not good. It's sort of enjoyable if you're into these aesthetics, which I super am.
Yeah, it's a super, super light recommend in that it's mostly a curio. Like just this time where like virtual reality was for the first time on the rise.
Yes.
And it lasted for like 7 months.
It was really quick.
Really quick. And like this came from that little moment. And it's just weird. It's a weird thing to go through. It's not a very good movie. It's incredibly stupid and mostly offensive. But whatever.
It could use gore, though. FYI.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Well, Chris, your recommend was soft, and let me feel mine. Oh, it's hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me touch it. Wait a minute.
Ooh, this is an enthusiastic recommend. This movie's a nonstop thrill ride, and I think you should check it out.
Like a fucking Rex Reed over here.
This movie is fun. It's dumb, and it's full of cum. Go for it.
That's actually true. All of those things are true about this movie. I guess I'm only able to recommend the director's cut, which does have some more gore in it. Although, my God, that fucking chimp getting murdered. Oh, I'm thinking about it all over again. Holy shit. Yeah, this was a movie that I always knew the title anyway.
Yeah.
I had no idea of what it was until later in life. But like, I always saw it in the video store, and I was like, huh, Stephen King's The Lawnmower Man. Well, that's a stupid title. And just skipped it forever. I think it was because I just hated mowing lawns so much that I was like, I don't want to go anywhere near a lawnmower movie.
Lawnmower movies?
Just there's a couple. There's this. There's the David Lynch movie there, Straight Story.
Is that Lawn Dogs? That's kind of it.
What is Lawn Dogs?
It's early Sam Rockwell.
And what's he doing?
He's mowing lawns and having
With-
sex with the wives of older men.
With dogs?
Wives of older
No.
men.
Like he's hanging out with dogs. Like, do the dogs
no,
help
they're
him mow the
lawn
lawns?
dog, like the
Like
dogs of
Reservoir
war.
Dogs. Yeah.
Oh,
No dogs in that
He's
movie.
a hound for.
I see.
You know what I mean?
You know,
Yeah,
there's no dogs and straw dogs, right?
Well, there should have been, man. That's all I'm saying. My goodness gracious, that is The Lawnmower Man from 1992, directed by Brett Leonard. If you want more We Hate Movies, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/We Hate Movies. Speaking of Pierce Brosnan, we have ourselves a We Love Movies episode this month on the fantastic Goldeneye.
That's right. And we also have a We Love Movies coming up next month for Horror Month. I'm going to announce it right now.
Oh,
my
do it.
God.
Do it.
Do it.
On The Shining.
Stephen
Wow.
King's The Shining.
That's right.
Speaking of properties he fucking hates.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about the Kubrick masterpiece on the
Right.
Patreon.
Mr. King, you had a problem with Stanley Kubrick's adaptation. I'm throwing this case right out.
Yeah, and for those who have not yet heard the news, all of the bonus episodes, the bonus full-length episodes that we do one a month at the $5 level on our Patreon, have transformed into We Love Movies. There will be... That's the sound of the transformation.
Oh, okay.
I am now a We Love Movies. So we'll be doing movies we love from here on out on that Patreon at the $5 level. So get hip. Martin Campbell's Goldeneye. We got an episode on it. And so Steve Sadak, next week, the Spooktacular kicks off with what?
Friday the 13th,
Woo.
2009.
Yeah, so we're still hating movies.
So we are definitely hating movies next week.
So until next week, when we finally find out how Jason Voorhees gets through the forest so quickly, I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Chris Cabin.
Eric Siska.
Take it easy.
That was a HeadGum podcast.